Stuck, delayed, and closed. Those are just some of the things that we were seeing from a days-long snowfall event. And while it's tapered off tonight, we are still feeling the impact into the overnight hours. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Let's get straight to our top story tonight. That is the weather, the snow, and the cold temperatures. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick standing by in the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. Thomas, in the short term, it's going to freeze again overnight. And you're also tracking another storm heading our way.
Yeah, a lot of snow chances through the course of this week. Of course, we had fresh 2 inches of snow from today, and this was the snowball kind of snow because it was quite a bit warmer, more water content. It's very sticky. Great for a snowman. I think this is a little bit too solid to use as a snowball, so I will put that off to the side. But weather-wise, still quite cold out here tonight when you factor in the winds. The wind chill at about 20 degrees right now, with our temperatures dropping below the freezing mark, even if it's by a couple of degrees. Well, any of that melted snow, especially from the traffic earlier today, could refreeze back into ice by tomorrow morning. So even though it's not actively snowing at the moment, we shouldn't let our guards down in terms of driving carefully into tomorrow morning's commute. But again, most of the snow appears to be finished for now, save for maybe just a couple flurries out there. But more snow chances right back into the picture, even by tomorrow late morning, 9-10 o'clock in the morning into the early afternoon hours. A window from about 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is another good chance for a bit more snow, but a significant snowstorm is on the way heading into Thursday. This appears to be and could be one of the heaviest snowfall events that we see in Spokane so far this season. So coming up, going to give you the latest details on this particular snow event and give you an early estimate as to how much more snow we could be adding on the ground before the week is through. Your forecast in a few moments.
All right, we'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. Thank you, Thomas. Well, the snow is impacting everything from roads to power and everything in between. So let's get you caught up to date. Travel through Washington's mountain passes has been dangerous all day today. Snoqualmie Pass just opened after being closed for several hours today. White Pass has been closed all day, and at Stevens Pass, it's been on and off closures since this morning. So heads up if you're traveling. Also, if you live in Spokane Valley and did not get your trash picked up today, well, you can guess why. It was due to the snow. The snowfall and road conditions prevented Waste Management, they say, from picking up garbage today. So anyone who was supposed to have it picked up today can leave it out. They'll be picking up tomorrow if conditions allow, they say. Well, if you're out enjoying all the new snow, we want to see it. Send us your winter wonderland photos using the Near Me section of the KREM 2 app, or you can just text them our way to that number right there on your screen, 509-448-2000. You might just see your photos right here on KREM 2 News. Well, in other news this evening, a lot happened in COVID news today, so let's get right into it. Teens could soon be eligible for a booster shot. The FDA is recommending now Pfizer's booster shot for kids ages 12 to 15. They're also recommending shortening the waiting period between your initial doses and your booster. It would be shortened to 5 months instead of 6 months. The CDC still has to sign off on that decision, but it's expecting to be made sometime this week. We'll keep you posted on that. New tonight, Starbucks is preparing for President Biden's vaccine or test mandate. It's asking all U.S. employees to share their vaccination status by January 10th. If they aren't fully vaccinated by February 9th, when the mandate goes into effect, they'll need a negative COVID test no more than 7 days before their next shift. They'll then have to test once a week, and at-home tests will not be accepted. And taking a look at COVID cases in our region, we are not so far seeing a big jump in cases and hospitalizations like other parts of the country are with Omicron variant. However, the Spokane Regional Health District is reporting 203 new cases from the holiday weekend. 67 people are currently hospitalized due to the virus. 1 new death is being reported as well. Meantime, in North Idaho, the Panhandle Health District is reporting 265 new COVID cases today. 61 people are hospitalized due to the virus. Right now, 3 new deaths are also reported. Throughout the pandemic, we have heard how important it is to get tested. Even in 2022, 2 years into the pandemic, that can still be a challenge. New at 11 tonight, KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk shows us how you can potentially get a COVID test and a result in the same day.
Drugstores like Walgreens sell take-home COVID tests for around $20, but many locations have been out of stock for weeks. COVID testing is in high demand. The lines at both Spokane County drive-through testing sites wrapped around buildings. Right now, there's a good chance you'll save time going to an urgent care clinic.
So the amount of testing that we're doing is higher than ever before. The need is really, really high.
Stephanie Cowan-Johnson of Multicare says even though tests are in high demand, most patients are getting in the same day at local Indigo urgent care clinics.
The sooner you can come in, the better. And so if you know that you need testing today or tomorrow, certainly try to get an appointment first thing in the morning. So we do open up our appointments in the morning. There's no appointment available. We certainly accept all walk-ins. And when you come in, we'll let you know what the wait time is looking like and let you know what your place in line is, and then how to check that on your phone so you can monitor that throughout the day.
Once checked in, patients get a swab in each nostril. Those samples get tested on site.
The test itself takes 20 minutes on the machine, although we would never guarantee that turnaround time.
Multicare says most tests are delivered the same day or within 24 hours.
It's just kind of how many tests are ahead of you that we need to run before we get to your test.
Indigo clinics also use molecular-based tests.
It's much different than the home antigen test or the test that you can buy over the counter at the grocery store or the pharmacy.
They're also more accurate. Multicare is not the only walk-in clinic around town. Providence offers COVID tests at Express Care and urgent care clinics around Spokane. COVID tests are free, but if you don't have health insurance, you may have to pay out of pocket to see a specialist, unlike the free drive-through testing sites in Spokane County. Reporting in Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
New tonight, 3 Washington state legislators used taxpayer money to attend a conference by MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell. That's according to a report from the Seattle Times. The conference, which largely focused on election conspiracies, was in South Dakota last summer. State Republican representatives Robert Sutherland, Vicky Kraft, and Brad Klippert attended. The Seattle Times reported that they requested and received expense reimbursements from the legislature for the conference. It says the state paid more than $4,300 for their hotels and flights. Kraft and Sutherland have defended themselves, saying they use information from that conference to develop and introduce election-related legislation in the upcoming legislative session. KREM 2 has now confirmed that 11 children were taken into protective custody after a fire in the backyard of a Spokane house yesterday. According to Spokane Fire Department's documents, when firefighters arrived, there were, quote, a lot of children taken out of the house. According to the report, the house presented hoarder conditions for the children living there. The children were taken to the hospital to be evaluated and are now in the care of CPS. The Pullman-Neal Public Library Board is meeting tomorrow to discuss removing a painting of Thomas Jefferson in their entrance. The board received 4 emails, they said, expressing concerns about Jefferson's history with slavery in the U.S. They're asking for a more appropriate figure to stand in the entrance. Tomorrow's meeting will be on Zoom at 5 p.m. State lawmakers proposed a new bill aimed to help identify and locate missing Indigenous women and people. House Bill 1725 would function the same way as a silver alert, which is used when a vulnerable adult goes missing. So when activated, the alert would broadcast details of the missing person to various platforms like highway signs and local media outlets across the state. The proposed bill comes after Indigenous survivors and family members spoke with state lawmakers about the issue just last month. Idaho is now the 9th fastest growing state in the U.S., at least according to data from U-Haul's Growth Index. People coming on one-way U-Hauls increased by more than 1% year after year. In the entire state, North Idaho saw the most growth in areas like Moscow, Coeur d'Alene, and in Post Falls. Well, after a long wait for the U.S. and Canada border to reopen, there's now a new challenge. Why visitors from Canada are having a tough time getting back into their country. Coming up next.